Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So today I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to be making a homemade kid replacer milk. Now the reason I'm doing this, we adopted a baby goat whose mother had died trying to give birth to her twin. Now she did get the colostrum the first 48 hours, but the mom passed away when she was 2 days old. My good friend that gave me the goat also sent this with me as a kid replacement. Well, we're 2.5 weeks old. We're doing amazing, but I noticed the bag is almost empty, right? So I called around and I priced this bag, $40 with tax. Now she went through this in 2 weeks. And well, to be honest, she'll be through it in about 3 days. So I would say she went through this one bag, this $40 bag of milk replacer in 3 weeks. She's only eating more every day, right? So that's going to mean here very soon, I'm going to be going through one bag in a week. My husband and I were talking about, we're talking about profit and loss, because that's what we talk about all the time here at Starkey Farmstead, because we're debt free. So I have to be very careful with what cash I spend, you guys. And I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat that we're in. You're wanting to be profitable on your farmstead, your homestead, your hobby farm, or just basically your farm. You're like, hey, I don't want to lose my butt bottle feeding this goat. He said, if you sold her right now, how much would you get for her? I said, dwarf pygmy, maybe 25 bucks in my area. Maybe. She has no papers. He goes, we already lost your butt. Like literally, you're in the hole, Sam. And I said, you're right. Well, here at Starkey Farmstead, I'm a very big believer in natural feed. I trust myself, guys. I pray about it a lot. I experiment a lot. I do a lot of research. I talk to everybody. I want my animals to be the best versions of themselves. I want them to be as healthy as possible. So what we have decided to do, 1 gallon whole milk, all right, whole milk, not low fat, not reduced fat, not 2%, whole milk. We also have a half gallon of buttermilk, whole buttermilk, okay? We also have a can of pet milk. Now, I did stop at the salvage store because I'm all about saving that money. I got this gallon of whole milk for $3.83 for the gallon. What? You can't beat that right now. The buttermilk costs just as much. So together, that's $7. I found pet milk that I could only find fat-free, but I found it for 59 cents a can. Y'all, in the store right now, Coronation, this is $1.38 where I live. So I could get basically 2 cans of the fat-free for what I would pay for 1 can of the Coronation. Now, I already have molasses and I raised chickens. I'm going to add 1 raw chicken egg to this concoction, and I'm going to add some molasses. So let's talk about that. How it's going to work. The entire jug of whole milk to 1 cup of buttermilk. So you don't need that much buttermilk. So you're going to have to find a container if you're going to want to mix it all together. I only have 1 baby goat to feed. So today we're going to do it a little different. I'm going to mix a half a gallon of this whole milk, a half a cup of this milk, the entire can of pet milk, 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of molasses. I hope you wrote that down. A half a gallon of whole milk to a cup of buttermilk to 1 can pet milk, 1 raw egg, 3 tablespoons of molasses. I'm going to mix all that up in here. I'm going to mix it really well. And then what I'm going to do, guys, she still has milk replacer, okay? So 4 cups of it already ready to go. So what I'm going to do is in her 16-ounce bottle, I'm going to mix half of this whole milk concoction, this homemade milk replacer, with her kid milk replacer. And I'm going to continue to do that till she runs out of the kid replacer that was purchased, the powder, the Demure, okay? That way I don't give her a stomach ache, I don't make her sick. But I trust myself more than I trust bagged feed. Okay, I've done enough research at this point. I've heard enough people say, you know, my younger goats, my weaker goats got scours. I had goats that just didn't look, they had enough energy, they weren't growing right. You can actually make your animals sick with this powdered milk. And if you have a farm or homestead, guys, and you're wanting to make money, there's no way you can make money on a goat with this nonsense. And I mean that. This is the first goat I've ever had. You can't make any money. If I'm having to buy one bag of that in the first 3 weeks for one goat, that's $40. If I had 2 goats, that would be $80. And if I could only sell them right now as is and only make 40 or 45 bucks, I would be in the hole, $35. You have to think through that stuff. It was the money that prompted me into looking for another way to feed her, but it was also because I trust myself. I really do. I really believe that I can feed her better than a company just mixing minerals up and powders up in a bag. Just like breastfeeding versus formula feeding for human babies. I believe mother's breast milk's best. So I'm going to mix this up real quick for you guys, and we're going to go feed her together, and we're going to see how she likes it. All right, here we go. I'm going to do a half a gallon of whole milk. Now that is cow's milk. I've heard a lot of people say, hey, if you can get a hold to, you know, goat milk, you're better off. And you are, but right now I can't find that. A half a cup of cultured buttermilk. Now I just noticed that this says no non-fat. Like I said, I did get it at the salvage store. That's okay, because what I'm going to use is the Carnation evaporated milk, the entire can, and then we're going to mix it with this goat kid milk replacer, right? So she's still going to get enough fat there, but I'm also going to be adding the molasses and the raw egg. For easy mixing, I went ahead and put the 3 tablespoons of molasses here with the egg. Okay, let's go ahead, whip that in, blend it a little bit, and then I'm going to get it into that milk. Now, a lot of people may have questions about raw eggs, all right? I get that question a lot with my dogs. Aren't you worried about salmonella, listeria, anything like that? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. My dogs, my German Shepherd, my Dachshund eat raw eggs all the time off of my farm. Guys, I'm telling you, not a big deal, all right? They're not going to get sick. These are fresh. I'm not worried about it. Let's get our pet milk in there. Wow, that looks good. I'm really impressed. We're really just sharing this with you guys because, you know, things are getting pretty expensive. But like I said before, I'm really big on, I believe I can do a good job in stewarding the animals on my farmstead. I natural feed a lot. My animals are beautiful. I naturally herbally worm all the animals on the property. We're going to be doing some videos, more videos today on some natural feed techniques for your rabbits, your goats, and your chickens through the winter. Hope you guys catch those videos. Let's get this on the stove and warming up so I go ahead and feed her. All right, right here, I've got her 4 cups of Goat Kid Milk Replacer, the purchase from the store. We're going to go ahead and pour that in here, guys. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to get 4 cups of our homemade milk replacer that you and I just did together. Now, to be very honest with y'all, I couldn't find anything at first telling me whether or not I could microwave her bottles or if I needed to heat them up on the stove. And it kind of irritated me a little. Let's go ahead and get this warming up. I've got it on a almost 6 over there. And what I realized you can microwave baby formula, but you cannot microwave breast milk. Breaks the enzymes down. So I made a decision, even though I couldn't find anything definitive, that microwaving her bottles to warm them up would probably be the worst thing that I could do. I might accidentally be breaking down amino acids or fat molecules that she really needed. And that's kind of what we're going to do here. That's why we're warming this up on the stove. We're going to go ahead and get it going. You guys saw us do the 4 cups of her Dumont, or Dumour, I guess is what you would call it, milk replacer. That's what she came with. My very good friend Charlene had already purchased that for her and started her on it. I didn't want to upset her belly, and I knew absolutely nothing about goats when we decided that we were going to adopt her. But like I said, when it was time, I don't want to run out of baby milk, right? Like nobody wants to run out of baby milk, human or goat. They're very loud. So I knew today, it's Friday, Black Friday, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I knew it was time to replace her milk replacer because she was down literally to the last 3 inches in the bag. I told Steven, hey, while we're running errands, let's go to the feed store. I want to get her some black oil sunflower seeds. I want to get her some whole oats. I'm going to do a video here in just a few minutes on that, how I'm going to start feeding her with grains. And I said, while we're there, let's go ahead and get her milk replacer. So I called ahead, made sure they had this brand, because I didn't want to upset her stomach. I didn't want to give her diarrhea. It can kill a baby goat. And I'm like, all right, so what are we going to do? When they told me that the milk replacer was $38.69 without tax, hung the phone up, looked at my husband, and I said, wait a minute. We'll have her 2 weeks today. She's going through this almost entire bag in that 2 weeks. That's $40, Steve. One goat. How do people afford to bottle feed goats and still make money on them on their homesteads? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, because I'm looking at profit and loss. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. On top of being a farmer, on top of being a livestock breeder, I'm all of these things. That's why I love the farm. I mean, come on, guys. Like, when you were growing up, most of us probably wanted to be teachers, firemen, doctors, vets, a farmer, a football player. I mean, when you own a homestead, you are all of those things. You're a lawyer, you're a vet, you're a midwife, you're everything. You are everything. And so there are many reasons why people need to bottle feed baby goats, sheep, cows. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you would end up in that position. Something I'm learning is bottle-fed animals tend to be more gentle, livestock animals, right? They bond with you on a different level because you and I have to make contact several times a day while I feed you. While I'm feeding you, I'm loving on you, I'm talking to you, you're hearing my voice, you are relating me to mom or relating Steve to dad. Like, we are your safety. So as you grow, you just have been exposed to us from the earliest hours of birth until that stage when you wean them off of the bottle. So that's one of the reasons why some people do, because we would like to, milk our goats. It would be one of the reasons why we would have them on a homestead, not just to terminate our cover crops and to help clear out underneath our tree coverages and things like that, and for, potential meat, but because we would like to milk them. Well, a good way to get a good milking goat is to bottle feed that goat. It makes them bond with you. When you get to the stage you're old enough to have their own babies and you begin milking them, they're more comfortable with you. They trust you. You have a bond. It's like, we're family. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your overhead costs down. I hope that this recipe is really going to do for your goats what I really truly believe it's going to do for ours. Stephen's cousin Megan, shout out to you, Megan, had suggested the molasses and the raw egg, and that was about 4 or 5 days ago. And I didn't do it right off the flip because I can tell you guys, I'm going to do my own research. All right, I take suggestions. I listen to my viewers, our subscribers, our friends and family when they give me an expert, when they give me a suggestion. But I don't blindly do anything. If it doesn't make sense to me, Sam's not doing it. So I did a lot of research, and on some of the biggest goat association pages, adding the raw egg was a definite yes. So I'm going for it. Thank you, Megan. I heard you. I read your text. I know a lot of people think she's not listening to me. She's not going to do what I suggested. I will. It always takes me a little time. I have to process what you said to me, and then I internalize it, and then I do my own research. If it works with the plan that I have, it's a go. If it's good in my spirit, I'm good with it. So right now, the milk is almost warm enough. I'm just steadily stirring. I don't want to, spoil the milk. I don't want it to stick to the bottom. There is an egg in here and some molasses. I'm so excited, you guys. Oh, that feels good. It's almost there. And I don't want to boil it, right? Because that would make it way too hot and we'd have to wait for it to cool off. So like I said, there are many reasons why you would bottle feed a goat. Her mom died trying to deliver her twin. So this was an emergency situation. It's why we only have one. If you have not joined us yet, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are asking you to row in our boat and to let us row in yours. It is all about learning, guys, and we can create a community of learners and like-minded people, and we invite you to join Starkey Farmstead on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I would hate to think if you had 6 to 10 baby goats, that one bag, you would have needed 2 bags to get through the first week if you had 8 goats of that supplement, that goat supplement sitting on the counter back there. That's what I'm talking about. You can't make money like that. So the milk is almost warm enough. We're going to get it into the 16-ounce bottle, put the nipple on it, and you and I are going to go see if Miracle likes her new supplemental milk. Well, I think it's a success. We have a very happy baby goat. Look at that. All right, so she took 4 ounces of the baby formula replacement mixture that we made here on the video with you guys. Honest with you guys, I really feel like her energy levels are higher. Not only is she playing, she's really jumping a lot more than normal. And the German Shepherd is in training for livestock guarding sheep and goats. He has done chickens, quails, and rabbits, and he has done amazing with that. You can see how calm he is. He is not always as calm. Sometimes he has his moments too. But he does a great job just watching from the front porch over his yard that he is responsible for. And I'm not going to lie, she has given him so much trouble since we did the milk replacer. She has jumped on him. She has headbutted him. She gave him a back massage even though he didn't want it. And he has not gotten up from his spot yet. He simply just kind of nudges her off. She'll run, play up and down, get on her playground for a little while, run back up the steps. And she's like, hey, what are you doing, dude? So I really think this milk is going to work for her. I am liking what I'm seeing. Her personality seems to be just more lively, just a lot more attentive, not just playing because she's bored or playing to get rid of that extra energy, but she seems to be thinking through, almost like she's planning the games that she wants to play. And I really like it. I like this. I think I'm going to be very happy with a homemade milk replacer versus what we were giving her. Hammer just noticed he had a chicken outside of the coop. It happens. They fly out. Irritates him when it happens. So you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching Starkey Farmstead. Please like, comment, and subscribe.